Welcome back to our policy session. We are continuing what we started earlier on this April 26, 2023 for the Clackamas County Board of Commissioners. Administrator Gary Schmidt, would you please introduce the item?
Yes, thank you, Chair Smith. Commissioner Savas is out of the office today. First, Chair, would you please convene as the Development Agency Board?
Yes, I will recess the Board of County Commissioners and convene as the Development Agency Board.
Thank you. And you are now meeting as the Development Agency Board of Directors for Clackamas County. This session is substantial amendment to the Clackamas Industrial Area Urban Renewal Plan. Staff from our Development Agency, which is also within our Department of Transportation and Development, Dan Johnson and Dave Queener, will present. Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much. Chair Smith, Commissioners, we are here to seek your direction on a major amendment to our Clackamas Industrial Area Urban Renewal Plan, basically to facilitate an exchange of funds with Clackamas County Fire District to assist in funding their training facility, which is down off Highway 212. For the record, I want to make sure that everybody clearly understands, including the public, the levy in that district has terminated. We are not raising any additional revenue in that district. This is dealing with remaining revenues that we have to complete remaining projects that are within the plan.
Okay, we don't have an attorney in here. I guess we don't need one. I just saw one coming up. We have Dave Queener. Would you like to say anything, or are you okay?
Give me 2 more seconds. I thought you were done. I thought you were doing signals back there. Can I have 2 more seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, the adjustment, I want to make sure we're clear. Our plan, when constructed decades ago, did include funding to assist the fire district. However, that funding was capped at $300,000. Essentially, this amendment would increase that funding level to allow us to fund the additional $1.2 million. There's a lot of backstory on that, but essentially, this is a discussion with the fire district that we've had in other urban renewal districts, the Clackamas Town Center District. They weren't able to spend funds that we kind of had directed to them as efficiently and effectively as they would have liked to. And they're looking for more flexibility in that funding going forward. So this amendment facilitates that, and we're just looking for your concurrence on advancing this amendment as proposed. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions or comments? We've discussed this before, Commissioners. The fire district is wanting some additional stuff that is available to them that I believe we've all agreed on previously. Any questions? Commissioner West.
You seem really far away.
I just noticed that. But I'm in a chair that's taller. I feel better.
I know the chairs are taller, but you are really far away. It's a little weird. But we talked about this when we did the whiteboard, right?
No.
Didn't you bring down a little? Didn't you give
a little bit? But essentially, just to give some background, so we're clear and transparent. There was direction from the Board of County Commissioners some time ago to do a direct investment plan through our Clackamas Town Center Urban Renewal District and a number of different districts. One was, for example, North Clackamas Parks District, Clackamas County Sheriff's Office, and Clackamas County Fire, et cetera. And so, what we had done through that Clackamas Town Center plan was to direct money towards those agencies to assist in meeting their capital needs that were out there. At that point in time, Clackamas County Fire was assessing the possibility to build a new administrative facility. And essentially, we transferred that money to them, to the Clackamas Town Center District. They've used that money appropriately on capital expenditures, but they've came to the determination that it really wasn't fiscally responsible or reasonable at this point in time to advance that. So they approached us to see if there's a possibility to assist with their training facility, which we can't through the Clackamas Town Center District, but we can through the Clackamas Industrial Area. So essentially, this will facilitate funding from the industrial area, which they will then repay in the Clackamas Town Center area the delta back to us. And there will be, as Dave reminded me, there will be a funding agreement that clearly stipulates all of this that will be coming before the Board of County Commissioners for consideration once the amendment is complete.
Was this us being good neighbors because Urban Renewal was pulling significant revenue from their as a taxing entity?
It was it's a long, heated discussion, but there was dialogue and a direction from the board and a desire from the board to assist those individuals that were being impacted by the tax increment financing.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate your explanation.
Yep.
Thank you. Commissioner Scholl?
Yes, Mr. Queener, if this $1.2 million is paid through Clackamas County Development Agency funds. What impact does it have on the Development Agency budget?
We have it already allocated into our 23-24 budget. It doesn't have any negative impact to that budget.
Okay,
Can I expand on that? We also have additional monies above and beyond this that are more aligned with opportunities that might afford ourselves around the Sunrise Corridor. So it's not exhausting all the revenue that we have, but it still allows us some additional revenue to do some targeted projects where needed.
Good, thank you. Any further questions, commissioners? I'll entertain a motion that we accept option 1 in the package on page 2. Go ahead.
Chair, I move that we direct staff to advance with the amendment to the Clackamas Industrial Area Urban Renewal Plan to provide funding to Clackamas Fire District Number 1 for a training facility.
Seconded.
Commissioner West has moved to direct staff to advance an amendment to the Clackamas Industrial Urban Renewal Plan, providing funding to Clackamas Fire District 1 for a training facility. Commissioner Schull has seconded the motion. Further discussion? Seeing none. Tony, please take the poll.
Commissioner Schrader. Aye. Commissioner Schull.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Chair Smith.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you very much, staff, for coming forward. Gary, what's next?
Next, Chair, would you please reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners?
I will recess as the Development Agency and convene as a Board of County Commissioners. Come on up, Nancy. Thank you.
Next session, proposed changes to the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office fees and fines. Nancy Artman, the Finance Manager of the Sheriff's Office, will present.
Good morning. Thank you, Administrator Schmidt. Good morning, Chair, Commissioners. I am here before you today to request changes to our general fees and fines schedule. We have not made changes to some of these fees in more than a decade, and it is time to refresh those fees and fines. Part of the driver for that is, this really is far away. Part of the driver for that is to ensure that we are recovering full cost for all of our charges for services to the public. You'll notice that we're including things like a $10 increase for range use fee. We're charging for reproduction of our policy and procedure manual. We're including staff time if it's beyond nominal. The staff that put together this proposal and the request for fees have looked at other jurisdictions and have ensured that we're comparable, or in some instances, just marginally below average. So these are competitive. We're not going to request charges to the public that are out of line. There are two options rather for you today: to approve the recommended fees and fines increases or to not. CCSO believes that we're trying to be good stewards of the funds, and we understand we are definitely in a tight budget period. We're doing our part to try to increase and ensure full cost recovery where applicable.
Thank you, Nancy, for that. You haven't increased fees in 10 years. Holy cow. That's a long time, and as we know, all entities that are living and breathing have experienced increased costs, whatever you're doing. You also are decreasing some fees in here, so it's not an overall fee increase.
Correct. Some are being removed because they're no longer relevant. Some we statutorily can no longer collect.
And you say you're upping the range fees, and that the public safety service, public safety
Training center.
Training center, excuse me, yes. It's taxpayer supported by the general fund. We know that. But that is a very popular service for the public. And I think upping our fees a little bit, we are still way below what the private sector offers in this area. And I know that firsthand because we went out for some training. There was a bunch of us, 5 of us did that, and we shopped around. And Clackamas County Training Center was the lowest fees, but it's also subsidized by taxpayer money. Raising the fees for $10 is not exorbitant at all on that. Commissioner Schrader?
It's interesting you mentioned the training center because I wanted to mention that too. All my children, my ex-husband who loves to shoot and target shoot all got their training there. And I think that it's a fantastic service that we offer for gun safety and training. And I have never taken part in that myself personally, but I have been forever grateful that if my children want to target shoot or hunt, that they have gotten the appropriate training through that center. And I think it's a great public service that we offer.
Thank you, Commissioner. We do
Thank you.
hire top quality staff, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
want to ensure the
Yeah,
best
it's great.
services
They're
for the
great out
public.
there. Commissioner Scholl.
Yes, Nancy. Has the sheriff department looked at the overall impact of these increases of fees and fines? In other words, do you have an idea what it's going to do to the budget?
That is a great question, Commissioner. I have not costed out the actual net impact. That's definitely something I could provide as an estimate to you. I'm happy to do so.
Okay, the reason I asked is because people will ask, well, okay, if fees and fines are going up, one going down or being eliminated, what's the kind of overall impact on the public, the overall cost?
Right.
We don't need an answer right now, but that's something that people will be interested in knowing. Thank you.
Fair, of course. And I'm happy to say that the training center over time has become more self-sufficient. So the amount of funds of general fund support that go toward it in the budget have decreased over time. But you are right, Chair, there still are general fund support dollars there. But through efficiencies and through tighter business practices, we're getting closer to it being self-sufficient. And also it saves the county money, generally speaking, as our sworn staff are able to go there and train. We don't have the additional cost of them going out to another agency. So it does have the benefit in that manner as well.
Thank you. Commissioner West?
Ms. Artman, thank you so much for your time today. I am an ardent, proud supporter of the Second Amendment. I also, like everybody probably in this room or listening, want to make sure that we have the best and most well-trained law enforcement officers, especially with the use of force. I also, though, don't understand, while something that is such a wonderful asset and available to the public and is so popular in Clackamas County and so well located, why that is not self-sufficient. I don't think there's an excuse for us to have a budget without it being self-sufficient. Maybe we're supposed to go on the pathway there, and this is, I'm a part of a, it's not an issue about firearms or whatever, or whether we should or shouldn't have them, but I support this fee increase. But I also think that we need to have a larger conversation board about, let's get them there. You can be self-sufficient, you could make a profit, right? And let's see, why not? And let's get there. So I hope that that's part of the conversation moving forward.
Thank you. Gary?
Sorry, you're kind of delving into budget discussions, which is not today's discussion. I don't want to put Nancy on the spot. If it really is about
Correct.
fees and fines, that's a discussion for the Budget Committee.
Thanks for letting me opine.
Okay, I will entertain a motion for approval in 1 minute, but I do have a question. If we were to approve this today, it is not reflective in the new budget roll-up going forward, is it?
Actually, yes, it will. That's why we're
Well,
doing all these.
It says
It
no.
says no on our document.
Oh.
That it's not.
That's why I asked the question.
Right, it is not in the current budget for this fiscal year, but
for the
it would begin,
23-24.
correct, it would begin July 1 of '23.
That's my question. Thank you.
That's what I meant. Yes, thank you.
Yes, that's what you meant. It says no in our document. It's really easy to check no.
And-
Any further comments from anyone?
I do have one request, please, Chair. We would like to change the fee without ammunition title to range use fee,
Okay.
and I would request that amendment be made on the provided documentation.
So, because you can't use your own ammunition, am I correct? You have to use the ammunition provided by the range. So that's why you're just changing it to a range use fee?
The only exceptions were outside entities, law enforcement agencies that came in. Some are required, federal agencies, for instance, some are required to use their own ammunition. For the public, the only instance where they can use their own ammunition is if we have supply chain issues and we simply don't have it. In those
Okay.
instances, the ammunition would be inspected by our team there at the center, and they would be charged a nominal flat fee for use of their own ammunition.
So this just simplifies it,
Yes.
your term.
Correct.
Commissioner Scholl?
Yeah, I just want to say that these fee changes look to me to be quite reasonable. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I'm looking for, we changed to range use fee from what again?
Without ammunition.
Without, okay, I was trying to find the document. Commissioners, I will accept a motion for approval with a noted name change.
Chair, I move that we approve the recommended fee increases and new fees with the change of updating the range use fee from $75 an hour to $85 an hour, a change in that wording.
I'll second that.
Commissioner West has moved for approval of the sheriff's fee increase and decrease, and the name change to range use. And Commissioner Schrader has seconded that motion. Further discussions? Seeing none, Tony, would you please take the poll?
Commissioner Scholl,
Aye.
Commissioner Schrader,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Chair Smith.
Aye, motion passes 4-0.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Nancy. Have a good day. Gary, anything else?
That is your last session this morning. Your next session starts at 1 p.m. We have brought in some food, so because of the shortened lunch break, but 1 o'clock you'll reconvene.
Okay. Seeing no further business before this commission, we are adjourned.
Nice.